guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Steph, and today we're going to be setting up my September pages in my bullet journal. But first, let's take a look at my August Greek tiles theme. The video for that is available on my channel to watch. I put it out last month. Anyway, moving on to September, the theme that we're going for this month is fall but pink. And the colors we're using are N75, 761, 772, 992, and I also grabbed N95, but I will tell you N95 and N75, virtually indistinguishable. You don't need both. Either or is totally fine. And then of course my 038 Sharpie S gel pen, which I'm using for all of the line work in today's setup. As you can see, I sketched in my lettering for this page, but I did not do any of the actual doodles, and that is because I had decided to kind of freehand this pattern. I wanted it to be more of like a meditative, just like coloring in blobs. You can see some of the ideas I thought I had for this month. Basically, I knew I wanted to use this color palette. I knew I wanted to do something that was fall but pink. And eventually I just decided to do like a leaf pattern. And use the colors, and then I decided to do the beige like for wheat, so there are leaves and there are wheat stalks as this theme, but it really just is a pink fall leaves foliage theme. Originally I was going to kind of stop here with just the larger leaves, but then I decided, as you'll see, to add a lot of smaller leaves to fill in. This is where you can kind of customize a theme like this to what you want. You can just have the big block leaf colors without all the small ones and have it be mostly a white page, or you can make it as packed in and as tightly patterned as you want it. Either way, it's gonna look great. I was happy with how it looked here, but I decided that I just didn't want the big areas of white, so I decided to fill in quite a bit more. And then for the leaf doodles, just so basic. After you do the general shape, you don't try to stay in the lines, you don't try to make them look too perfect, you just kind of do a generic outline. It's a very simple, very clip art style doodle that I did here. And I don't know about you guys, but my birthday is at the end of August, and so September just kind of feels like the start of something new for me every year. Like the beginning of fall is almost like a new year beginning for me, and it's my favorite time of the year, so I am really excited about everything kind of cooling off and being able to go on longer runs without it being too hot outside or too cold. And then the colors changing and pumpkins everywhere and Halloween, so I'm super excited about this time of year. Here you see some of the smaller doodles, and I was kind of just freehanding what colors I thought belonged, you know, in certain spots. And actually, the quote I used for this is, "Allow nature's peace to flow through you, into you. Allow nature's peace to flow into you," by John Muir. I grew up in California. John Muir, obviously pivotal in preserving Yosemite as a national forest and exploring a lot of that area. So I thought it was fitting. If you haven't been to Yosemite, definitely go in the fall. It is absolutely breathtaking. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and let the background music and the sped up footage play, and I will see you guys back in a bit. color I chose these colors for this theme, by the way, specifically because of that bit of rose quartz. That particular shade of pink, or the rose quartz crystal in general, is supposed to represent or evoke feelings of unconditional love, which was something that I thought tied really well into my theme of the year, which again is healing. And obviously, love is very healing, forgiveness, acceptance, all of that kind of thing. So that's why I wanted to use that color pink there, that third one in particular. I just thought that I thought it was a little bit too bright to do a fall theme just with that pink, which is why I incorporated the other pink with it as well. For the calendar, though, I decided not to do the whole calendar boxes. I just did these lines across the top of each day, and I actually end up making a mistake because of that. It's going to be fine, but you'll see what I'm talking about a little bit later on. I basically treated that bottom line as the bottom line of the calendar and started drawing leaves where I'm going to probably need to write stuff. But I'll just essentially write the stuff over the leaf because none of these colors are so bright or so dark that I can't write over them. But that was just me not paying very much attention to what was going on. So to come up with like the placement for a lot of this, I kind of did, a little bit in each corner and then just kind of filled it in from there, switching the colors out one at a time to make sure that I didn't end up with a bunch of one color in one spot. And I didn't have all the leaves going in the same direction. That's really as much thought as I put into designing these patterns. Also, again, normally that right-hand side space would be saved for monthly goals or a list of events, but I find that with this 6 boxes tall by 5 boxes wide calendar spacing, I have enough room to write in the bills that are due on which day, any major events that are happening on those days, and then I save my goals for a whole goal spread, which you'll see here shortly. So my goals go on a different page altogether. And the whole setup for the entire thing took me about an hour and 10 minutes, which isn't bad for the fact that I didn't actually sketch in or know where the leaves were going to go in advance. All I had sketched in again was just the letters for the font, because I did this almost like stamped type font for my September theme. Moving on to my habit and mood tracker, we are going to continue the more informative mood tracker where I track several different emotions each day and whether or not I had big emotions in that feeling or if I just kind of had low level. Like, for example, if I have some minor anxiety, I'll do one color, but if I had a lot of anxiety that really kind of impacted my day, then I'll do a different color, as an example. So the moods I track are joy, contentment, anxiety, fear, anger, sadness, and boredom. Just the basic everybody feels all those things every day, usually. I hope nobody deals with so much anxiety they can't handle it, but I think most people have at least some anxiety every single day. So I find it more helpful to track the level of each of those feelings for me versus just how was my day in general, the traditional mood tracker style. If you want to do a traditional mood tracker style, you absolutely can. Just those leaves would be a great way to just space them out and then do the coloring over them based on the mood that you had. And then I realized that I had forgotten to put the days of the week on my calendar, so went back and did that. So you can see that happening here. I really love how this habit tracker turned out. I found that I don't need to track a couple of the habits. I've built them into routines, so they are in fact habits now. Things like journaling every day and hydrating are things that I feel like I have a really strong grasp on. So I'm not including them because for the last couple of months they've just been checked off. Yes, I did that every single day. So I condensed it down to 6, which allowed me to put these cute little center box for habits, and then I can do the decorations all around both of these pages as well. think the Habit and Mood Tracker might be my favorite for this setup. Usually the calendar is my favorite, but I keep finding myself looking at the Habit and Mood Tracker page, so I guess I'm gonna have to say it's my favorite for September. Let me know in the comments which of these spreads is your favorite, or if you had considered doing a fall but pink theme, which is what I'm gonna be calling it if you didn't already see that in the title. But moving on to my goals and my brain dump page, as you can see here, normally I would do a brain dump spread and then the other page would be like a line a day, or I would do a goals spread and the other page would be what steps did I take on each day to complete those goals. It wasn't really that effective since a lot of these goals are not entirely dependent on my own actions day to day. Work goals might be like project level or month level versus working each day towards them. So it would be like worked on project every single day for a while. But since I always like to include doodles on my brain dump page and my goals page, I just kind of stuck to the corners and did one of each color in each of these little sections, and that kept it looking a little bit more random patterned, but also making sure that it was balanced. And that brings us to the final flip through. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know again which of these was your favorite spreads. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.